So in the previous classes we have discussed about the third module with regards to the execution power and appointment of the president, legislative powers and many other related aspects, including pardoning power of the president and Article 72. Now why this pardoning power is granted to the president? There are various reasons behind having granted this kind of the power to the president of India. To correct a judicial error, for example, an error has been incurred in giving a punishment or any such kind of the thing, for that a judicial error correction, this kind of the power is given to the President of India. For giving relief from an unduly harsh sentence, sometimes the sentence which is given to the person who is under the sections is very harsh and he deserves a sympathy. So for that also president has got through government this power of pardoning. This pardoning power is independent of judiciary. It is not a judicial action but the executive action, but while exercising this power the president does not sit as a court of appeal. Now, while giving this pardoning power, he just issues a paper wherein he will write the details and it goes to the concerned authority. He need not sit throughout the session. This pardoning power includes pardon, that is completely absolution from both of the sentence as well as the conviction. That is a complete dismissal of the penalty case or kind of the conviction on a accused. Commutation, that is the sentence is commuted to a lesser sentence. So change of the nature of sentence from the rigorous punishment of 20 years to maybe 4 years, or from the penalty of 1 lakh to 1000 or such cases. Example, a rigorous imprisonment of 7 or 10 years can be changed into simple imprisonment of 5 to 6 years, etc. Remission, reduction in the period only. Sentence can be reduced without changing the nature. So a reduction in the period can be done by the president of a country. Respite, respite is the relief, awarding a lesser sentence on some special ground, for example disability of convict, pregnancy of a woman offender, etc. In certain cases some kind of the relaxation can be given to the prisoner. Reprieve, that is stay for a temporary period. Stay of the execution of the sentence for a temporary period is provided to enable the convict apply for pardon or commutation from the president. So there is a kind of a relief given here again for a temporary period by the President of India of prolonging the kind of the punishment, etc., or reducing the kind of the punishment. Principle laid down by the Supreme Court. Petitioner has no right of the oral hearing. So there is no right of the petitioner for the oral hearing here. It's a principle which is laid down by the Supreme Court. It has to be taken to the court, 4 walls, and there only the case should be heard, not in open public. The President can examine the evidences afresh and take a different view from the court. Power to exercise on the advice of the Union Cabinet. There is a power to exercise advice on the Union Cabinet also with the President of our country. The President is not bound to give reasons for his decisions. He can also give relief for both the harsh sentence or an evident mistake committed. No specific guidelines by the Supreme Court for the exercise of the power of the President is specified, not subject to judicial review except decision is arbitrary, irrational, malified or discriminatory. So there is no need of a special judiciary case to review the kind of the decision given by the Supreme Court unless until there is a need of discrimination or there is some doubt. If earlier petition has been rejected, then also there comes a doubt for such reviewing of the cases. Difference or distinction between the pardoning, power of president and power of the governor. So the two supremacies here, president and the governor, they have got a differences in the pardoning system. Under Article 161, pardoning of the power of the governor is defined as pardoning power of the governor, which is same as president except in 2 cases. One is a death sentence and another is a court martial. So here the powers differ from governor to president. Process of granting pardon in India. The process starts with filling a mercy petition with the President under the Article 72 of the Constitution of India. Such petition is then sent to the Ministry of Home Affairs and the central government for the consideration. The above mentioned petition is discussed by the Home Ministry in consultation with the concerned state government, and after consultation recommendations are made by the Home Minister, and then the petitioner is sent back to the President. Pardoning power under judicial review. There has always been a debate as to whether the power of the executive to pardon should be subjected to judicial review or not. Supreme Court in a catena of the cases has laid down the law relating to judicial review of pardoning power. In Maru Ram versus Union of India case also we can see the usage of Article 72 again in the bench of Supreme Court, wherein advice was given to central government and not by the President on his own. Advice of the government binds with the head of the Republic as well. Emergency power of the President. President may proclaim a state of emergency in whole or part if India feels that a grave situation has arisen in which the security of the India on a part its territory might get threatened by war or external repressions or rebellions. That is under Article 352. President can declare three types of emergencies. One is a national emergency. First one, national emergency is caused by the war, external aggressions or armed rebellion in the whole of the India or a part of its territory. President can declare national emergency only on a return request by cabinet ministers headed by the Prime Minister, and proclamations must be approved by the Parliament within 1 month. National emergency can be imposed for 6 months and it can be extended more than 6 months by repeated parliamentary approval up to a maximum of 3 years. It can be extended. Under national emergency, fundamental rights of Indian citizens can also be suspended. The sixth freedom under rights to freedom are automatically suspended, and the right of life and personal liberty cannot be suspended. Such an emergency or national emergency has been invoked at 3 cases in India: 1962 Indo-China War, 1971 Indo-Pakistan War, 1975 to 77 declared by Indira Gandhi on account of internal disturbances. State emergency or President's rule. A state emergency can be imposed via the following: if the state fails to run constitutionally, constitutional machinery has failed under Article 356. If that state is not working according to the given direction of the Union government under Article 365. Such an emergency must be approved by Parliament within a period of 2 months. It can be imposed for 6 months to a maximum of 3 years with repeated parliamentary approval every 6 months. If needed, emergency can be extended for more than 3 years. By the occasionally, you can see it's a constitutional amendment. For example, in the case of Punjab and Jammu Kashmir, during such as emergency, the governor administered the state in the nature of the president. The legislative assembly can be dissolved as well and suspended at the same time. Money bills have been referred to the parliament for approvals. So that's all for students today. We'll continue in the next class tomorrow. Thank you.